on that field today, ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And go to and go to
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like.
Football is getting hit. That's it.
It's gonna be football now! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's hunt now! Let's hunt now! Let's hunt! We ready! And let's go to and let's go to
We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin straps.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man.
You already make the big money.
He's a man.
Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there.
When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like.
Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! We ready! And let's go to and let's go to It's a wrap. Game over.
Nah, this game ain't over. It is really just getting started right here on the lunch break. Powered by Jones Media and Entertainment. And let me get my guy on here right now. We on at a special time. I got some stuff to do today. I got some business meetings today. But, man, there's so much going on. I had to get my guy, Big Mike Riggins, on. Big Mike, what it do, baby? I can't hear you, man. Can you hear me? I can't hear you at all. I can't hear nothing. Big Mike, go off and come back in. It'll get right. It'll get right. Go off and come back in. All right. So as you see, I got Big Mike coming on, and I'm looking forward to having him on. Again, we're on at a special time. I do have a big meeting. Just I can't go into those details yet. All I'm asking you to do is just be doing this right there, and we'll see how things work out, because some things are happening with Jones Media and Entertainment, and I'm excited about it. Yeah, you know you got something when people want to talk to you and you didn't reach out to them. So I'm really excited. Man, it's Talk Your Team Tuesday, and I had to get on in enough time so I can talk about the Brooklyn Nets. Where y'all at, Brooklyn? Where y'all? Come on, Brooklyn Net fans, KD fans, Kyrie Irving fans. Where y'all at? Where are y'all? I can't hear nobody. I can't hear nobody. Y'all told me Brooklyn was going to win it all now that they did not have James Harden. That's what y'all told me. I got Big Mike on. Let me get Big Mike in here. Because, man. Big Mike, can we hear you now?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Big Mike, I didn't want to do it. I feel like Lotto from 8 Mile.
What's that?
Do it. I didn't want to be the one that this dude had to commit suicide to. I didn't want to mess up that dude from Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? Bruh, what happened to the Brooklyn Nets? Everybody was able to team to beat. Didn't nobody want to play Brooklyn?
I was one of those who said that. Let me say that. I was definitely one of those who said you didn't want to play Brooklyn. I stand corrected. I was just catching up on Elon Musk's Twitter. They were informing me about the Charles Barkley, Kevin Durant drama that's going on right now. So,
oh, wait a minute. Wait, what now? Have they got started already?
Yeah, KD tweeted out where would Chuck be without the big homies, with him and a picture of him and Akeem and Drexler and him and Moses Malone and Julius Erving, all those guys. I said, oh, they're getting started earlier here on this Tuesday.
Give me a break. Come on, man. Hold on. Kevin Durant, I'm not mad at him for going down fighting, but he is going down.
He's going down. You know, I've been watching Kevin Durant since I first saw him in high school.
All right.
And when he came to the road, it was the Christmas tournament in Portland.
Okay.
And I remember watching him. He wasn't even the star of the show. It was Ty Lawson, Eric Devendorf, Jamont Gordon, a whole bunch of other guys. But Kevin Durant stood out. I remember following his high school career into now, it's kind of like, man, you can't deny his talent. But what we saw these last 4 games, 4 games was like, bruh, I was shocked. I was shocked that a man of his talent, they were able to me, who I felt was unstoppable for many years. Ime Udoka and those boys, and credit to the coaching staff, they put something on him. And it kind of felt like they just got physical with him. What I saw, they got physical with him, and he didn't like that.
And that's the thing that I had to kind of look at myself. Kevin Durant, I'm trying to let me say this first. Udoka had coached that series like he's been coaching for 38 years.
And caveat, Ime Udoka is from Portland, Oregon, went to Jefferson High School, went to Portland State, played for the Trailblazers, and Neil O'Shea said he did not want to interview him for the job. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, well, I try not to bash Chauncey and that situation, but let's just say this: they got their guy. I don't know if they got the right guy. I'll leave it at that.
Now, I will say, from what I've heard internally, Chauncey, I think he'll be a good fit long term. But when you're putting out a glorified G League team, it kind of is what it is.
And I get that. I definitely get that. And CJ McCollum was a lot better than we thought he was.
Yes.
He was not on his last leg, as everybody tried to make it seem.
Not at all.
To kind of bring it back, what stood out was when Udoka got interviewed during the game. And when they asked him about Kevin Durant, he said, "No, we just gotta stick to the plan. We have to execute. We got to D him up, and we got to make sure that we make his shots difficult." And he wasn't rattled. He wasn't emotional. He wasn't hyped. He was doing what a good coach will do. Let's keep this temperature right here.
Yep.
Because if
he learned from for many years, right?
Right. And they did that in this entire series. And let me check my notes. They swept Brooklyn 4 games to none.
Yeah.
And
they made it look easy.
But Kevin Durant can say everything he wants. He can have all the burn tweets he wants. But at the end of the day, I don't remember Jordan getting swept. Even when it was him and those Bulls against Detroit, he wasn't getting swept.
Nah.
They won.
He went home in the first round a couple years, but he didn't go home. I saw a team in Brooklyn who just didn't want to fight. It almost was like that first game was their last hurrah. Yeah. And after that, they were just like, we can't beat these guys. And they just did not show up.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Big Mike Riggins joining us here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, Jones Media and Entertainment. We're on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you got a ROKU streaming device, download BS3 TV. And I'm telling you, great content. Young man's doing a great job. I'm glad to be a part of the family. I said to another brother on Twitter or on Elon Musk's, I said to him that Kevin Durant seems disengaged for some reason. He seems a little detached. Last night, he seemed like he was trying to reattach, but then it got to a place where he was just like, I'm out. And I'm not saying that he gave up on the team. I'm not saying he quit on the team. I just feel like something in the next coming days is going to come out where Kevin Durant was either injured or had something going on personally, or, is starting to have second thoughts about the arrangement in Brooklyn. I know Kyrie said, I'm re-signing and I'm going to manage the team and all that.
Yeah, I heard, I was reading that this morning too on Elon Musk's Twitter. Kyrie managing the team.
Yeah.
Let's take it back a few years ago when they both came to Brooklyn, and there was a comment made about they said they didn't need a head coach, which is why they hired Steve Nash.
You got what you want.
You got what you wanted. You got the result that you asked for. Because on paper, that's a great team. That's a title contending team.
Yep.
And even if you don't make the James Harden trade, they're even better because you got a big man in the middle who's an all-star, Jared Allen, and you got Karis LeVert who is lethal at any point in time.
Yep.
So we can't say that they've had bad teams or they haven't had pieces because they've had pieces.
Well, I said on one of my updates for one of the other stations earlier that you cannot blame James Harden for this one. You cannot blame him for this one. And
now, what's about to happen in Philly, you can blame him for.
Huh?
I said, what might happen in Philly, you can blame him for, but this situation, that's different. This situation in Brooklyn,
over here,
this situation over here, that's gonna fall on the $50 million men and Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
Yeah. So I also tweeted out that who is to blame? Is it KD, Kyrie, or Steve Nash? Most people responded that there's enough blame to go around, but we got to be honest, man. Steve Nash got handed his time.
He got his lunch taken from him. He came and said, "Give me your lunch meat, little man." He took it
every day.
And look, for Steve Nash has been surrounded by some of the best coaches. He coached under some of the best coaches. So to me, seeing the way even last year when they lost to Milwaukee, granted they pushed that 7 games.
Yeah.
Even last year he was still getting out coached.
Right.
So it was kind of like you've had some heck of a surrounding cast in your coaching, and it doesn't look like you've picked up enough to lead this team.
Big Mike Riggins joining us here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, broadcasting live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Man, there's more to just being on the sidelines. A lot of folks thought Bull teams, Phil Jackson just rolled the ball out there. The Lakers teams, they just rolled the ball out there. The old Celtics team and Detroit team, they just rolled the ball out there. I now have a special place in my heart for coaches who coach superstars.
Yes.
Because it's not as easy as people think it is. So, again, it's a rare breed. Phil Jackson, Pat Riley. Got to give Eric Spoelstra some.
Definitely.
Because he got 2 out of 4 out of that squad. And, again, see, it's not as easy as people think it is. And then I got to also throw Steve Kerr in there now. But there's another name I got to throw in there. A lot of folks don't like him because of what was going on in Philly, and that's Doc Rivers.
Yeah. I think Doc gets a lot of slack. Another name I would put in there, too, is Ty Lue. I think he's done a heck of a job managing from Cleveland, allegedly cussing LeBron out, and then, coming to the Clippers situation where where it's known. It's an ugly known fact that Kawhi does what Kawhi wants to do when he wants to do it and how he wants to do it.
Right.
It's a known fact that Paul George is going to be who he wants to be.
Right.
So I'm going to navigate those waters and get that team to where they've been at the last couple of years. I give him a lot of credit managing those personalities too.
Absolutely. I give that to you. Steve Nash might not be ready for that. And it's just a fact. He just might not be ready for that. And I need some of these folks to go back to some of these great AAU teams and these McDonald All-American teams. Not everybody can coach and manage all those different A-type personalities that are on superverse level. So, man, I got to tell you. And then I got to reevaluate my superstar list. I only got 3 right now. I got LeBron. He's out of the playoffs. I got Kevin Durant. He just got swept. And I got Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's up 3-2. He is up 3-2, but Giannis is still being Giannis. Is Kevin Durant in that superstar stratosphere?
I'm gonna say yes. For me, yes. I think the term superstar gets thrown around very, very loosely.
It does.
I got about 5 guys that I would say are superstars, and then it's kind of everyone else. Not there's different levels to them, but I would say yes. I won't let this one playoff run define his superstar status for me.
Okay.
Because if he comes back next year, if the report came out yesterday that Rich Paul sat down with Sean Marks, and if it comes out that Ben Simmons truly there's something going on, he comes back and he's a lot better. He comes back and they go and run through the playoffs. Then we're okay. We got to revive. But if this is a continual thing, now can he get any better? I think he's at this point. He'll be 35 next year. Mother Nature says you're not getting any better. Of course, LeBron James has defied what that he's changed that.
LeBron, Tom Brady, two different.
But you look at LeBron James, the injuries he's had compared to the injuries Kevin Durant's had a lot of injuries in his
Right.
career that I think have
Yeah.
stifled a lot of his greatness that we were deprived from. But I still think they're going to get a championship in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm holding on to something that says they're going to get this thing together. We've had 2 seasons where we really truly want to see Brooklyn healthy. We didn't get it. We didn't get it last year in the playoffs. Kyrie and James Harden go out. Kyrie made his personal decision this year, so we didn't get him this year. James Harden decided he didn't want to play basketball there anymore, so we truly didn't get it. And then Kevin Durant goes down for that long period of time. So here we are. Again, all we get is the playoffs. We're deprived again of what the potential of this team could be.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think we're going to see a championship in Brooklyn with this squad.
Really?
And that includes Steve Nash. Now,
Mm-hmm.
you get Nash out of there and get somebody in that can do – see, again, anybody can coach, but great coaches do the stuff that most folks don't know need to be done when they need to be done.
Yeah.
So adjustments and lineup matchups and that kind of stuff. And, the little things, knowing when to, put people on the line, know when to let them play through, a streak and not call timeouts and stuff like that. Those are the little things that most laymen or novice coaches don't know how to do. Just because they can coach don't mean they can coach.
Or even, to me, bigger than that, they command respect from their team, and their team
Absolutely.
respects them. You look at the Olympics, how they struggle, and it sounds like Greg Popovich had a come to Jesus moment with that USA Olympic team, and we saw the result of that. And I just don't think they have that respect for Steve Nash. I was looking at. I know he was with Golden State. I thought he was actually a coach, but he was just a player development coach. So
Right.
meaning he just was a part-time guy. That he wasn't really a coach. He probably wasn't a part of game planning and so on and so forth. So they don't have a lot of these guys don't have that respect for him. He's an all-time great point guard, but as far as the respect of as a coach, to me it's clear that they just don't have that. If Kyrie's comfortable saying, "Oh, we're gonna run this back and I'm gonna help manage this team," it's kind of like, okay, well, there's clearly no leader in the locker room there.
Yep, you got that right. Big Mike Riggins joining us here on the lunch break, special edition of Talk Your Team Tuesday. We came on a little bit earlier than we normally do. I've got a meeting that's going to cut into the time I would normally be on the air. So appreciate those who will be tuning in here in about 5 minutes and those who will go back and look at the replay. Big Mike, I got to tell you, man, getting swept 4-0 is legit. That in the NBA, that's significant. And I would think that Brooklyn would not be a team that anybody should be able to sweep 4 games to none. And I said when it was 2-0 that it was pretty much over, but it doesn't really start until somebody wins on the road. When they won that third game, I said it was over. I didn't think they would still sweep this team, and they did.
Well, you think about guys like Kevin Durant. Even, they're going to get you one game. I mean, we saw what he did in Milwaukee, how he pushed that series, and we saw what he did last year. Joker, he's going to get you one game. And
Right.
you just say, there's certain guys, they're going to get you one game. Joel Embiid, he's going to get you one game, but to them not to get that, and, Kyrie's there, they're healthy. The only person that was reported that had any kind of injury was Seth Curry.
Yep.
And you say, oh, they're going to get you one, but no.
Yeah. Well, now let's move on. Philly played lackluster last night. No big deal. Dallas with the
Jason Kidd, man.
But again, we got folks down here and up there in the Dallas Metroplex area that want to minimize Kidd's impact on this team. And Rick Carlisle called it with Jason Kidd. Rick Carlisle said that this man was going to implement a defense in this team, on this team, that will change things. And that thing showed up last night.
Man, listen, I've been watching Dallas all year. I moved here prior to the season starting. So, you're going to see Maverick and Cowboys. I've been watching Dallas all year, and I kept thinking, this is a fluke. It's going to taper off. They're going to be in this play-in, and it never happened. So credit to him. He's gotten stuff out of players that I didn't see happening. Yeah. I didn't think Dinwiddie was going to come be who he was from another guy Brooklyn just let walk away. Jalen Brunson, man. Jalen Brunson's going to get close to a max contract this offseason.
Bruh.
And they tried to trade him, and nobody, and they could not trade him.
Yeah,
He's gonna get his money. The young kid in the middle, I keep forgetting his name. But light skinned curly, I see him all the time.
Oh yeah.
He holds it down in the paint for him.
Now you got me looking him up.
That and even that going to I know Tim Hardaway Jr. is out right now, but even him playing his role, and not only that, playing more under control.
Yeah, Powell.
Yes, Dwight Powell.
Dwight Powell. Yeah,
holds it down, and his energy is, you can't replace that kind of energy. And not only that, too, I think one of the biggest keys to Dallas' success is having an owner that's bought in.
Yeah,
you know, he can be crazy, he can be very outspoken, but he is 100% bought into the success of that team. And when you look at modern day successful NBA teams, you're like, oh, you got to have 2 stars, or 2.5 stars. But there's a couple teams right now I wouldn't want to play, and Dallas is one of them.
I got to tell you, man, and the fact that Luka returns so seamlessly, that right there tells me that Jason Kidd has implemented a plan that doesn't just totally depend on Luka. It literally was a next man up thing, and Brunson stepped up to the plate. And really held it.
Brunson is what as Fat Joke as coin. Yesterday's price is not today's, and Jalen Brunson is going to be yelling that all off season.
Man, and I got to tell you, I just love everything about Dorian Finney-Smith, man.
Yes, I love his game.
Everything about his game, and the dude seems like he's on that different beat to the drum kind of thing, man. I'm not gonna call him Mr. Bad Boy himself, but he feels like he's on a few more tattoos, and he definitely gonna be on that tip.
Oh yeah, 100%. They got some boys down there, some men down there that ride for what they do, and they're, like I said, they're bought in.
Yeah,
they're bought into that locker room. You can just see, when I look at sports a little bit different ever since I was on the sideline as a coach. You start looking at things a little bit different, and what I see from a lot of these teams that we're seeing success from right now that are on these great runs, they look happy doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They look happy, they look bought in, and they look, I mean, even Golden State, they in that last game it was a little shaky, but even then you could see the joy on their faces, like, we got our boys back. We back. Everybody's here. We're healthy as we're gonna be. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Big Mike joining us. We're at the top of the hour again. For those who just came on, Trey Pike, what's up? Yeah, we had to come on a little bit early, man. I got to take a little bit of an early leave to go handle some business meetings. But let me run a quick commercial real quick. We got a commercial that we're gonna run real quick, and we'll be right back after this, Big Mike, right here on the lunch break, Talking Team Tuesday.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alexia McClurkin. I'm the founder of 9 Months of 5K, a nonprofit that was started to dispel the misconception that pregnant women shouldn't work out during their pregnancy. We are focused on health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness. We're hosting our annual 5K on Mother's Day.
And we appreciate Dr. McClurkin Johnson giving us the chance to produce that commercial. I'm sorry, Big Mike. I keep taking you off.
Oh man, you all good.
Yeah,
I was over checking my notes.
When you're the talent and the engineer, man, you make mistakes. But I appreciate Dr. McClurkin Johnson allowed us to produce that commercial for their annual 5K coming up on Mother's Day. And your boy's gonna try and run in that, man. Pray for me.
Hey, definitely. And if all goes well, I'm gonna join you next year.
Well, man, listen, come get it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hey, look, this working out for this 5K has been an adjustment.
I'm sitting here looking at you right here. I said, I think Big Bro got a little, he slimming down a little bit.
You know what's funny is some people say I've slimmed down, and then I ran into a lady I hadn't seen her. She said, "Are you gaining weight?" Was poking in my belly. I said, "Yo, move, oh somewhere."
Hey, it's always somebody that's gonna keep you humble, as my dad would say.
As they should. All right, Big Mike, let's run through these games tonight. We got Hawks and Heat. That could be an elimination game for the Hawks if they don't get a win. It's in Miami.
Hey, one quick question. Are we still trying to decide who won the Luka and Trae Young trade?
No, I ain't trying. I think
just make sure.
Very happy.
Yes.
And I keep trying to tell people, you can't have a Magic Johnson and a Larry Bird in the league at the same time. You don't have to decide which one's better and all of that. You can enjoy both.
Yes, indeed.
Dominique Wilkins and Karl Malone. Enjoy everybody. So, but who you got tonight? You got Miami or you got the Hawks?
Yeah, Miami gonna close that thing out. I think Atlanta's gonna come out. They're gonna play a solid game, but Jimmy and Bam, and I think Kyle Lowry's out, but Tyler Hero, man, and don't let Duncan Robinson get started. I watched him in that first or second game first game where he was just hitting everything.
Right, that was that first game, but Duncan seems to not get in his rhythm like he did a couple of seasons ago. Not even
very true.
But in the bubble, Duncan was a beast, and he's been kind of a little different since then. So I don't know if that's defense from the Hawks. I don't know what that is, but he seems to get off to a slow start here, lately. So.
Yeah, he definitely has, but they're letting Jimmy Butler score 40, 45 points. Eventually you're going to have to do something about that, and somebody's going to get left open, and you have to pick your poison with Tyler Hero or Duncan.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think I'm leaning towards the Hawks extending it one more game tonight because, Trae Young is one of them dudes where you just don't know how to, you can't count him out. He could come out and be on fire. He could start on his ice and then get hot. You just never count him out.
I have more confidence in Atlanta that they're – I think Florida. I think Miami's going to pull it out, but I think Atlanta's going to go down fighting. I don't think they're just going to come lay down.
This series has been kind of interesting, man. It's the Grizzlies hosting the Timberwolves, and Karl Anthony Towns went off
Yes, he did.
Man. With his daddy sitting next to Ja Morant.
That's the coolest. I don't know why. That's just one of the coolest things for me to see right now is those two fathers right there, man, just having a good time too.
Yeah. Yep. What do you think, man? Minnesota or Memphis tonight?
Who's at home tonight on that one?
Memphis is at home.
Memphis is at home. I'm going to go Memphis, but one thing, I'm waiting for D'Angelo Russell to show up.
Okay.
He's the forgotten guy in Minnesota.
Okay.
He can, at any point in time, he can go nuclear. And I'm waiting for him to show up in this series where he has that 30, 35-point night and they get a win. But I'm going to go Memphis tonight. Memphis is a hard place to win.
It really is.
That's a hard place to win.
Memphis is another one of those teams similar to the Dallas Mavs that have a process in place that does not totally depend upon Ja. Yeah. They were able to be successful without Ja, which is why I don't give a lot of empathy or sympathy to the Brooklyn Nets. I want to hear about Kyrie being down. I want to hear about KD being down. I don't want to hear about Ben Simmons. Either you are or either you're not a great team. And Memphis has found a way to win without their star player. And other teams, Phoenix has found a way to win without their star players. So
I'm going to send you something to listen to when you got some time. And it talks about, to me, it shows the value of building a team, building your team through the draft as opposed to going to buy a championship. But it was a Kobe Altman. He sat down with Woj and he kind of talked about his process as he took over the GM of that team and elevated to president of trading Kyrie, LeBron leaving, and what their process was to see where they're at now. So I'm gonna send that to you. It's definitely a good listen.
I want to hear
just to kind of hear that process of you starting to see the team that you're naming right now that are playing well. Yeah. They all got that thing in common where they built through the draft and they haven't really went and got the marquee free agents.
That's what the Rockets are trying to do now themselves. And it's tough, man, because a lot of people don't realize the Rockets have been consistently in the playoffs since, good Lord, Yao Ming had a couple of missed spots, but after that, they were playing. They were the first round and out, second round, what have you. But they had a couple of Western Conference finals in there and what have you. So, this was a change. This was the first time the Rockets blew it all up and started over. And a lot of people are having a hard time adjusting to it. But like you said, if you look around the league at the teams that are doing well now, that's how they've
trusted. And Kobe Altman talked a lot about ownership being bought into that their process of what it's going to be.
See, and I don't know if the ownership here is bought into that process. That can be a little thrown off. I'm just saying. Yeah. Real quick, AJ Jones, Big Mike Riggins. It is Talk Your Team Tuesday here on the lunch break. Let me do a quick station identification. I haven't done that in a minute. Let me do that real quick. Let y'all know what's going on.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network. BS3 Network is now on ROKU TV under BS3 TV. Download today.
Yep, that's who we are. That's where we are right now on the lunch break. If you got a Roku streaming device, be sure to download BS3 TV. You're going to thank me later. Great programming on that network. All right, so I got the Grizzlies over the Timberwolves as well, which means Memphis will go up 3-2. And then in another series that's nip and tuck, Phoenix is going to host New Orleans tonight. What you got?
And that game is in Phoenix, right? I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yes.
Man, I got to go Phoenix. I can't see Chris Paul and him letting. He's not gonna let what happened to him that last game happen in this game, like we saw in the Brooklyn series with some of their guys. Give me Phoenix. I think they're a deeper team. They're better. I think we're gonna see more from DeAndre Ayton. I know he had a great game. He's gonna step up more. And I like the X factor there in Mikal Bridges. I love his game.
Yeah.
I love watching him play, and I think he's gonna be the difference maker. And hopefully they get Booker back in this, what I think they said 2 to 3 week time frame.
Yeah.
Hope they don't rush him back.
Right.
I can't see this series getting too out of hand. I could be wrong. Brandon Ingram has shown up. CJ McCollum has shown up, even though he's quote unquote washed. They've both showed up in ways that nobody projected. Another player I like for New Orleans, I think, who infuses energy into that team is Jackson Hayes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he gives them a lot of energy. But I like Phoenix. I think they're hungry. I think they're determined. I know they're determined, and I can't see Chris Paul letting the same thing happen to him this current game. That he's too smart.
Yeah.
They call him point guard for a reason. I know you saw him play for a lot of years down there in Houston.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like Phoenix is going to pull out tonight, but again, I'm not as surprised as many are about how New Orleans is playing.
Not at all. Not another team who was bought into their process. Who they made some trades and they got a lot of guys younger. They got those guys in younger, and they've been able to kind of they've done a great job at making the right trades, not just making a trade, but making the right trades to bring in pieces to build around. At the time, Brandon Ingram, and if Zion ever plays another game in New Orleans, that's another conversation. But if he's there, that's another team to kind of be ready to watch out for.
Yeah, the West is going to kind of reshape over the next couple of seasons. I think we're going to see that. Got to give some love to Mr. Turing, the AFC South. Mike Patton, what's up, bro? Man, this dude is just killing it, man. I tell you.
I've been checking out some of his content lately. I definitely love it. And if he's like me, tomorrow, this week is draft week, and NFL is one of your favorite times of the year.
Yeah, in fact, we're going to get to that in a minute because we got to get ready to get off this thing so I can get to work. But let's see, I covered everybody. You got Phoenix tonight. You got Miami tonight. You got Memphis tonight, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And I've got Hawks, Suns, and Grizzlies. So we only have one divergence. Mm-hmm. Man, let's talk about this NFL draft coming up Thursday. And I'm going to throw you off by talking about the Texans first. The Texans have 10 picks in this draft, including pick number 3 and pick number 13 in the first round. Nick Caserio, general manager for the Texans, says he doesn't think anybody is willing to do what they need to do to get up to pick number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Pick number 13.
Different story. And somebody mentioned the Dallas Cowboys at that pick. At 13?
At 13.
This is what, so at 3, in my, I'd have been through like 20 mock drafts like everybody else. I got them taking Ike Ekwonu from NC State, the tackle. I had Evan Neal from Alabama slotted there, but a report came out today that he's got some medical issues that some teams have found, and that is going to cause a lot of GMs to pause and reevaluate. I think they're going to go safe at 13. I actually had them trading with Pittsburgh, and I had Pittsburgh coming up to get Malik Willis, and
I think that's going to be the case. I think that's going to be the case. In fact, I want to see Pittsburgh move up to get that young quarterback because, he is the perfect fit.
Yes, especially what they want to do on offense.
Yeah.
Especially what they want to do on offense. And I think Houston's going to drop down to 20, get a couple more late-round picks. But at that 20 spot, I think they're going to take George Karlaftis from Purdue. I like his game. He's an edge rusher. He's not the big name. He's not Kayvon Thibodeau. He's not Trevon Walker. He's not Aiden Hutchinson. But to me, he's got that potential to be a double digit sack guy over the next 10 years.
Big Mike Riggins doing his thing, and Big Mike. So, are you telling me that at number 3, the Texans don't get one of those 3 players? Because if they walk away from that number 3 pick, and they don't have one of those three players, and I hope it's not Hutchinson. If it's not Walker, if it's not Thibodeau, I feel like the rest is just a wash. Like they've already screwed it all up.
I got. If I'm the GM of Houston, I'm looking at two things. Reason why I don't think they take Kayvon Thibodeau. I've had him there for a few months now. The reason why I don't think they take him is they're trying to kind of clean up things. There's these rumors swirling around. The talent is there, yes, but when he came out and said the reasons why he didn't go to Alabama he went to Oregon because he was focused on his brand and his business and stuff. That causes a lot of GMs to go, well, are you truly bought into playing football? I think Ike Ekwonu he's a solid guy. He's a Pro Bowl guy. He's a bookend. You can put him at that. The question is Laramie Tunsil, what they're going to do with him. They're going to keep him and put Ekwonu at the right tackle. I think that's what I would do. Are you bought into Davis? If you're bought in as Davis Sills is going to be your future, you got to protect him. And I think there's value in Ike Ekwonu getting him later. Or if they trade down, they collect some more picks. They can hop back up and pick up some. This talent in this draft is a lot better at these premium positions, I call them, than it has been in past years. So I think there's a lot of value at the defensive end at the edge rusher position for them.
Big Mike Riggins giving us a draft evaluation right now. So at number 1, do they go Hutchinson?
It's Trayvon Walker. He's there. We got Trent Baalke. He drafted Aiden. I forget his name. The young from Missouri back in San Francisco. He came in and was a sack machine for him. And they're the same thing. Walker 6'4", 265. The guy I'm thinking of, he was 6'3", 270. Okay. Similar builds. Trayvon Walker, he suffered from the reason why he hasn't jumped out on film for a lot of people is because he was at probably one of the best defenses I've ever seen play at Georgia. Right. And that's another guy. If Houston were to take Jordan Davis at 3, I wouldn't be mad at him. I don't think it's gonna happen. I wouldn't be mad at him. Yeah. But if he comes in, you think about this. Lovie Smith he wants his thing is I want to get to the quarterback before.
Right.
If you come in there and Jordan Davis is taking up 2 guys every play, who cares on the end? They gonna get home.
That's true. You're right about that.
It's not gonna happen. But I mean, Jordan Davis is a freak of nature watching him. But Trayvon Walker suffered from being there with him, being there with Wyatt, being there with and Kobe Dean and all these other guys. So he didn't pop on film as much. But when you watch him on film, you're gonna see he's the guy. He's the guy that Houston's gonna like. That Jacksonville's gonna like. Baalke's gonna pick him. He's not gonna say it. I think there's a deal probably already in place. If that pick comes in on Thursday and it's another name, you'll get a message from me saying I'm floored.
I'm just looking at one of the mock drafts now. They got Ekwonu going at number 1, Hutchinson going to Detroit at number 2, and Evan Neal going to the Texans at number 3, Kayvon Thibodeau going to the Jets at number 4.
Yeah, and that's where I have Kayvon Thibodeau going to is 4 to the Jets. It's so hard with Evan Neal. I had him in that top 4 for the longest time up until this morning before we started talking, before I got on with you. But seeing that there's just this medical stuff is surfacing now 2 days before the draft, I think it's going to hurt him. Yeah. You never know how much.
Yeah. Big Mike Riggins joining us here. So let's look at beyond that. The Giants at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Giants need everything and anything.
What I've heard from every agent friend I know is they're in love with Charles Cross from Mississippi State. So I have them taking him 5. And then coming back at 7, I have them taking my favorite corner in the draft, Sauce Gardner. I got a chance to watch Sauce in person when Cincinnati played Alabama.
Uh-huh.
You want to talk about a guy who shut down one side of the field.
Yeah.
And who's had 0 touchdowns scored on him.
Yeah.
And that's another guy. If Houston were to come out at 3 and pick him, again, another high value player. I think in a year, maybe 2, we'll talk about him being one of the premier corners in the league as a true shutdown corner.
What's interesting is on this mock draft, they've got Sauce going to the Giants at 5, Cross going to Detroit. The Panthers at 6, and Trayvon Walker, going to the Giants at 7.
It's like I said, if Walker's not 1, I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to be extremely shocked. Jacksonville I think Jacksonville's trying to play it close to the vest in case somebody wants to come up. There's all these rumors about what Carolina may or may not do, what may or may not happen at the top of the draft. There's no real quarterback needy teams ahead of them, but the Giants, they say they're going to give Daniel Jones another year, but if they go give Malik Willis at 5, at 5 to say, hey, we give you somebody to compete with, we're not surprised. So
Yeah.
Jacksonville, I think they're playing it close to the vest. I honestly, if I were them, I would trade back if somebody really wants to pop up here and get, if they want Trayvon Walker that bad, come up here and get him, and I'll go back to the back part because there's so much value in the top part of this draft. And Jacksonville's another team who needs everything.
Who's the first quarterback taken off the board, in your opinion?
I got Kenny Pickett at 6. He's the most quarterback. He's the most ready to play this year. Matt Rule's in a position, that whole staff, him, the GM, they're in a position where they can't miss.
Right.
They know that Sam Darnold's not going to get it done.
Right.
But I have Kenny Pickett as the first one coming off the board. I think Malik Willis, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him, just getting more. So depending on where he goes, if he were to go to Carolina, he's got to learn a totally different thing than what he was doing in college, as opposed to going to Pittsburgh, where they've already come out and said we want to run more RPO, read option, zone read stuff. We want to get more mobile, that's him. That's Desmond Ridder. That's one of those two guys.
Yeah. What's interesting is on this mock draft, they got Malik Willis going to number 16 to the New Orleans Saints, which I don't want them to do that. Don't have Jameis and Malik fighting for the same spot. I don't want them to do that.
I got the Saints taking Garrett Wilson and Devontae White. The Saints have to take a wide receiver, in my opinion. This is a deep class of wide receivers.
Yeah.
We don't know what Michael Thomas is going to be when he comes back, and they need some help up. James is going to need somebody to throw to, and Devontae White is he's the other interior lineman from Georgia. Again, best defense you've seen on paper I've seen on the field in years, and those two anchored by him and Jordan Davis.
Interesting, on this mock draft at 23, they've got Ajabo going to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, man. I mean, I love that kid. You don't have Hutchinson without him.
Very true.
Yeah. Very
true. He's a draft and stash kind of guy, just like Jameson Williams is right now. He would be wide receiver 1 had he not got hurt. I have KC getting him at Ajabo at 30, and he'll be somebody they can sit there until he comes back healthy. They're estimating he should be back. He should be able to play by mid-season. So if that's the case, you can get him out there. That's lift some pressure off of Frank Clark.
Okay. All right. Kansas City, Chris Olave, out of Ohio State University. They got him going down at 29. Does he last that long?
I think he does, because the premium positions are so deep this year in this draft. Talking about your corners, your tackles, your edge guys, it's so deep this year that he does. I got him going at 29 as well to KC. But again, if somebody else were to jump up, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go at Green Bay has multiple picks on the back end. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him Green Bay take him either. But Green Bay doesn't take wide receivers in the first round.
Well, that quarterback needs one now.
He does
now.
And I have them slotted to pick one, but who knows?
Yeah. Trey Pike, Jameis Winston could be a good mentor for Malik Willis, but I think Malik is an instant impact guy.
So here's my thing with the Saints. You're 5-2, 5-1 or something like that when Jameis gets hurt. He's had 2 interceptions, 13-2, something like that. If he doesn't get hurt, we might be having a different conversation.
Whole different conversation.
We're probably having a whole different conversation.
Whole different conversation.
Yeah, he doesn't get hurt, we're probably having a whole different conversation now. The only difference now is you got a different guy in charge, and is that guy as bought into having Jameis as his quarterback as Sean Payton was. Yeah. It's clear they wanted Russell Wilson. I heard that many times from everybody I know in the Seahawks organization. It was clear that the Saints were in those conversations to get Russell Wilson. It just didn't work out.
Absolutely. Real quick, let me shout out to my good brother, Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Brother. We got to reconnect soon, man. We got to reconnect soon. So, man, I hate to do this. We got to get ready to wrap this up. Surprises in the drafts. Who do you think is going to come away probably with one of the better drafts that is not a New England or not a Buffalo or not a Rams? Who do you think is going to be the surprise team to come away with a really good draft?
If I'm gonna go with a couple teams, and simply because they got multiple picks in the top 15. If Houston, New York, the Jets, and the Giants don't come away here with two impact players that make an instant impact next year, they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
They got two, and even on the later half, the Saints, I think they're a great run organization. They got an opportunity to have some instant impact too, with some playmakers. But those, if Houston's not, I don't think Houston's gonna win 10, 12 games next year. But if Houston, the Jets, and the Giants don't get better next year with guys from this draft, they need to reevaluate who's scouting and who's making these picks.
It's a really good point, and that's why I love having you do your thing, man, because you have a knowledge and an insight. Like, what do the Jets need to do to get relevant? Everybody thought with Robert Saleh coming in that they were going to be instantaneously back. I kept telling them Zach Wilson was not the answer. And out of all three, what they run out, three quarterbacks this year, he was the worst.
Yeah, he definitely was. I was kind of surprised by that, by him being the worst of all of them. I got the Jets taking Kayvon Thibodeau and Derek Stingley, and I would say if there's one out of the three teams I named, if they can land Stingley and Thibodeau, we're talking about Stingley, who was the consensus #1 pick his freshman year, and Thibodeau, who also was looked at as a #1 pick coming into this year. So you land a shutdown corner if he's healthy, and all reports and video I've seen of him working out, he looks like he's back to form.
Yeah.
And Kayvon Thibodeau, hey, if you want to work on your brand, New York is a great spot for you.
That's
but
true.
Robert Saleh is a great defensive mind, and he could get something out of Thibodeau, especially with the way they want to run their defense.
Yeah. And again, the Giants, to me, they're on the clock. We all know Dave Gettleman did not have a plan like he thought. He told everybody he did, and now he's out. So we'll see what that team can do now. Dallas Cowboys, what do they do before you go?
Dallas Cowboys, I have them going. I have them going with Daxton Hill from Michigan. I watch him play. Him coming into this draft this year. You see guys, you say, oh, he's a Cowboy. Oh, he's a Raider. And just his swag, his moxie on the field, he'll fit in Dallas. And not only that, too, he's gonna help take some of that pressure off Trayvon Diggs, because Diggs had a lot of picks, but if you go watch the film, Diggs got used a lot too.
Yeah.
And he's gonna and Daxton Hill, not only that, he can play in the box. So he's a guy who can drop down into the box too.
It's all gonna be very interesting, man. We'll find out more. Thursday starts at 7:00, of course. There, and we'll be checking it out. I know Big Mike is going to be putting out picks and comments and commentary and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be following you that night, bro, because I know you're going to be on top of it.
Man, I'm sitting here with my other computer. I'm sitting here with iPads and 2 phones. I've been, I'm creeping back into the agent game on the basketball side, on the football side. All my friends, they're out in Vegas right now. They're on planes. And, man, I just want to say before we get off, congratulations to all the young men who are going to hear their name called over this weekend. Congratulations to all the first-year agents who are going to have not in the first year, but agents who are going to have their first players drafted this year.
Yeah.
It is a big deal. So congratulations to everybody. And congratulations to all the scouts on the NFL side who get a week off before they got to head to Tuscaloosa and go check out Will Anderson and Bryce Young, because that's where they're going to be, Tuscaloosa and Florida. So congratulations to everybody. Just talking to some scouts, I know it's a grind. So congratulations. So now on that week you're going to get off next week to go home finally, see your wife and your kids, man. So it'll be fun though, fun weekend.
Big Mike, I tell you, man, you are an expert at what you do, brother. I love you for it. And y'all, he's a former coach. He is a scout. Agent. He just does it all, man. And he knows the stuff. I'm looking for some regular content on
it's coming.
Look,
it is coming real soon. Next time I'm on, I'll let you and everybody else in on what it's looking like. But bro, it's looking real good.
All right, brother. Well, look, JM&E and BS3, we looking to be a part of the family. So, man.
That's without a doubt. I appreciate you always giving me time on your platform.
Well, brother, thank you again, man. We'll talk soon. All right.
Yes, sir. All right,
Big Mike Riggins, y'all. He knows it, and he does it well. All right, look, let me get ready to get out of here. And again, y'all keep your boy in prayer. Let me give you some what's happening with BS3. Let me give you what you need to know with Sybil Wilkes. And then, again, we'll follow up again on the next time. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There is nothing you can do about it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alexia McClurkin. I'm the founder of 9 Months of 5K, a nonprofit that was started to dispel the misconception that pregnant women shouldn't work out during their pregnancy. We are focused on health, fitness, nutrition, and wellness. We're hosting our annual 5K on Mother's Day.
Folks, with what you need to know, today is Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Number 1. A Memphis prosecutor has dropped all criminal charges against Pamela Moses, the Memphis woman who was sentenced to 6 years in prison for trying to register to vote. The central issue in her case was whether she knew she was ineligible to vote when a probation officer filled out and signed a form indicating she was done with probation. Even though the probation officer admitted he made a mistake and Moses said she had no idea she was ineligible to vote, prosecutors claim she deceived him. The case stirred national outrage because it underscored disparities in the way Black people are punished for voting errors. Number 2, New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham has signed emergency declarations as 20 wildfires continue to burn Sunday in nearly half the state's drought-stricken 33 counties. Meanwhile, in Arizona, some residents forced to evacuate due to a wildfire near Flagstaff were allowed to return home Sunday. In Nebraska, authorities say wind-driven wildfires sweeping through parts of that state killed a retired Cambridge fire chief and injured at least 11 firefighters. Number 3, the final weeks of the college school year have been disrupted yet again by COVID-19 as universities bring back mask mandates, switch to online classes, and scale back large gatherings in response to upticks in coronavirus infections. Colleges in Washington, D.C., New York State, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Texas have reimposed a range of virus measures. This is the third straight academic year that's been upended by COVID-19, meaning soon-to-be seniors have yet to experience a normal college year. Number 4, in a video that went viral that spread on social media, a white female student is recorded calling a black male student the N-word at a Henry County, Georgia high school. The boy then proceeds to slap the girl. The school was made aware of the slap, prompting the male student to be punished, while the white female who called him the racial slur did not initially face any repercussions. A senior at Locust Grove, Layla Moreau, and her friend organized a protest Thursday morning to bring awareness to the multitude of racist incidents Black students experience at the predominantly white high school. Number 5, your unearned income is anything that is not earned income. Earned income is income gained from employment, work, or through business activities, while unearned income is not acquired through work or business activities. Learn why it's important to understand how all the elements of income apply to different aspects of the tax code in today's newsletter, brought to you by Texas CPA Katrina M. Kraft. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but sometimes words do hurt. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with Cameron Riley and comedian Damon Williams. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the American Heart Association. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.